Konami aren't necessarily known for racing games, but they did exist. World Circuit Series suggests to me that it wasn't a great area of interest for them, however, as it's one that's sort of forgotten in the annals of time. Well, my philosophy is no game left behind, so let's give it some page space. You get a lot of options to customize your racing experience. You can choose F3000, Formula 3, or Formula 1, which basically governs the overall speed of the cars, but also decides the difficulty of the tracks you'll be racing on. In Formula 3, you won't even have to brake for a lot of it, but in F1 it's much easier to crash and is pretty tough. You can then choose one of two preset cars. They're both at opposite extremes, as in one is slow and handles well, the other fast but a shopping cart. So instead you're better off creating your own team. You can choose various aspects of your car, from downforce, which affects the control, your tyres and engine, and so on. It's possible to practice tracks, have a single race, and in the World Series mode you plough through an entire season, firstly qualifying for each track and then a 3-lap race. So plenty of choice there. Unfortunately, the gameplay isn't really what it could have been. There's a large information bar on the right-hand side that shows a map, your speed dial, and lap times. The map is kind of irrelevant as your current position isn't shown, and it's too far out of your line of sight to even look at it. I've never been a massive fan of these racing games where the tracks aren't actually circuits. Here you're always heading towards the top of the screen, navigating left and right like one of those old Tomy racing turbo toys we all used to have. Compare this to something like Micro Machines, where you drive around in all directions, to see how a top-down racer should probably be done. The car controls in a very sliding manner. You can seemingly straighten up the car only to have it still gently veer off to the side, requiring another single tap of the D-pad to actually travel directly upwards. This is greatly exacerbated by the level of tyre wear. After a couple of laps, your car is often nigh uncontrollable. Also, what's the deal with the engine failures all the time? It seems that in almost half the races you can be way out in front, only for your engine to give in, dramatically cutting your top speed and leaving you in your opponent's dust. You can pit to get it repaired, but having to make a pit stop basically ends your race, as none of the other drivers ever seem to. Another really weird facet to the programming is that none of the cars have collision detection attributed to them. You can crash into obstacles on the sides of the track, and later on you will do, trust me, but all the cars sort of ghost through each other as if they're racing the same track but in different dimensions. I imagine trying to overtake would be a massive pain in the arse if this wasn't the case though. The music and engine sounds are genuinely brilliant. It's perfect racing music with a fast bass line and soaring melody, although more variation would have been good. Compared to Racing Damacy, it's a massive improvement. The look is a little rushed, I think. All the cars look identical and there's very little variation, but what's there is professional at least. The pit and podium animations are a nice touch. You'd expect no less from a Konami title. World Circuit Series is certainly not the worst racing game out there, but there are too many irritants for my liking, and I really don't enjoy the design choice of always heading upwards. That's fine if the camera aspect is behind the car, as in F1 race, but it doesn't really suit a top-down perspective. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below, and if you can spare a second, give the review a quick thumbs up, it really helps out. Subscribe to the Portable Power Podcast for a new Game Boy review every day from Monday to Friday. Or alternately, new episodes of the podcast drop every Saturday and Sunday on whichever platform you get your pods. See you later on.